Sometimes there are seasons in life that you know are going to be special while you're living them. And then there are seasons you don't realize were a gift until they're almost gone. Earlier this year, my youngest son decided to leave his job before starting a new one in Connecticut. Since he knew he'd be moving out of state, it didn't make sense for him to renew the lease on his apartment, so he moved back home with me for about 4 months while he prepared for his next chapter. Looking back now, I realize what an unexpected gift that season was. As a mom, you never really know when you'll get that much uninterrupted time with your grown children again. And those 4 months gave us the chance to simply do life together. Some mornings he'd surprise me with breakfast, other days we'd work on projects around the house. We'd sit and have coffee together, laugh about little things, and before we knew it, it was time to start getting him ready for his move. It's funny how life works. Sometimes the moments that don't seem extraordinary at the time end up becoming the memories you treasure the most. One of the sweetest things to come out of such a difficult season has been Freya. My youngest son adopted her just a few months after losing his dad, and looking back now, I honestly don't think either of us realized just how much she would help him through his grief. She brought laughter back into the house. She gave him something to care for. She was always nearby on the hard days. What's amazing is that we didn't even realize until a few months ago that all 3 of my sons and I had all brought new pets into our lives around the very same time. None of us planned it. It just happened. Looking back now, I don't think that was a coincidence. Those little fur babies became such a huge part of our healing. They made us laugh when we didn't feel like laughing. They gave us comfort on the quiet days. And somehow they filled the little spaces in our hearts that were hurting. Freya definitely made herself at home while they were living here. And if you have a cat, you already know what comes along with that. Cat hair everywhere. As I started helping my youngest son get everything packed for his new apartment, I wanted to send him with a few practical things I knew he'd actually use. Those aren't always the most exciting gifts, but they're usually the ones that end up getting used the most. Since Freya is going with him, I figured this was the perfect time to put this vacuum through the test before packing it away. And that brings me to Shop Vac, who is sponsoring this part of the video. And this is their S4 20-volt cordless handheld vacuum. The first thing I noticed when I picked it up was how lightweight it is. Even though it's compact, it has a brushless motor with up to 18,000 pascals of suction, so it has plenty of power for everyday cleaning without feeling bulky or heavy. Since Freya spent so much time in this room, there was definitely no shortage of pet hair to clean up. I thought this would be a great real-life test because this is exactly the kind of mess he'll be dealing with in his new apartment. I was honestly impressed with how quickly it lifted the cat hair from the floor. One pass was enough to remove most of it, and I didn't find myself going over the same area over and over again. The rotating floor brush makes it really easy to maneuver around furniture, under the bed, and into tighter spaces, which I think will be especially helpful in an apartment where every square foot matters. One feature I really appreciate is the built-in LED light. It's one of those things you don't realize you need until you use it, and suddenly you can see all the dust and pet hair hiding underneath furniture and along the baseboards. It also comes with additional attachments, so it's useful for upholstery, shelves, your vehicle, and other hard-to-reach places. During my testing, I found it did a nice job picking up everyday debris, but on upholstery with embedded pet hair, it took a few extra passes. I also found that it's important to make sure the extension wand is fully locked into position before you begin cleaning, because if it isn't completely secure, it can work itself loose. After using it around the house, I really see this as a vacuum that's best suited for apartments, dorm rooms, smaller homes, vehicles, or quick everyday cleanups. If you're looking for something lightweight that's easy to grab for daily maintenance, I think that's where this vacuum shines. Because it's cordless, there's no dragging a cord from room to room, and when you're finished, everything stores neatly on the included wall mount. As a mom, I know a vacuum probably isn't the most exciting gift I could send with him, but after setting up homes over the years, I've learned that the things you reach for every day become the things you appreciate the most. Sometimes it's the simple, practical things that help make a new place feel like home. Shop Vac has also been kind enough to offer my viewers 15% off with a discount code on the screen. I'll also leave the discount code along with a direct link to the Shop Vac in the description box below if you'd like to check it out for yourself. And a big thank you to Shop Vac for partnering with me on today's video and for helping me send my youngest son off to his new home with something I know he'll truly use. With his room cleaned out, one more box checked off the list, and everything packed into his car, we were almost ready. It's funny how the gifts we give our children change over the years. When they're little, it's bicycles and Christmas toys. As they get older, it's cookware, toolkits, and apparently cordless vacuums. Maybe that's just another way we keep taking care of them, even after they've grown up. Before my son left for Connecticut, I wanted for all of us to sit down at the table and to gather one last time before we'd probably see him again, maybe around Christmas. So I spent the rest of the day making some of our family favorites. There was good food, lots of laughter, stories we've all heard 100 times, and a few moments I quickly tucked away in my heart. Watching your children leave home is never easy, even when they're adults. But watching them step confidently into a new chapter is one of the greatest joys of being a parent. I'm incredibly proud of the man my youngest son has become, and I know this new adventure in Connecticut is going to be such an exciting season for him. This past 17 months has taught me something I never expected. Healing doesn't always come through the big moments. Sometimes it comes quietly, over breakfast in the sunroom, through a tiny cat curled up in someone's lap, while packing moving boxes, cleaning out a bedroom, sharing one last family dinner, or simply helping someone you love prepare for what's next. They reminded me that some of life's greatest blessings aren't the ones we plan. They're the ones we're given. I'll always be thankful for those 4 extra months we were able to share. Time has a way of slipping by so quickly, and I'm grateful we were given the chance to slow down, make memories, and simply enjoy doing everyday life together one more time. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me. I hope this video encourages you to treasure the ordinary moments because they often become the memories we hold on to the longest.